Leslie and Tania with MindScapes717. Woohoo! We're here. And we're gonna start the podcast. So again, as usual, I ask for your grace with my technical difficulties, which I normally have. And no matter what, it seems I have these difficulties and I can't escape them. So, I am going to go ahead and see if I can start this. Let's see here.
Oh, it's working.
Yay. Yeah, this time it's working. Okay, so let me turn the music on. Oh, no, let's not. Let's not do that.
Stupid metronome.
I forgot to turn the metronome off. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Here we go.
I'm starting over. I wonder, can I delete this?
Yeah. You sure can.
There we go. Woohoo! That was easy.
That was way easier. We just never done that before.
I know, exactly.
Okay.
Here we go. Take two. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
It's Leslie and Tania, and we are on podcast 21.
I think so.
Podcast
Yeah.
21. This is our kind of our makeup one for when I was at the APHA conference. Anyhow, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about a lot of things. So we're going to do
Yes.
a two-parter today, because for this Sunday and for the one Sunday we missed, we're going to do a two-parter today. The first part is what we were talking about. I know it's semantics, but in the world of mental health and culture, words are everything because we communicate with words. So we were talking about words like just and but, just to start off the conversation of what those look like. Because like Leslie brought up yesterday was obviously Thanksgiving, the family things. These words are very triggering just in general. I know Leslie mentioned the I love you but.
That was good, but
Yeah.
or
Or just do it.
all right.
We want to be Nike and just do it, motherfuckers. That doesn't work that way. Does not work that way.
If so, for an example, someone says, "I'm feeling very sad," and another person says, "Well, just get up and get going and get moving. You'll be fine." That word "just" is a trigger.
Oh, absolutely.
Just as much as I love you, but I think you could do better. Or the food was great, but it could have used more salt, or it could have used something else.
Yeah.
And these are triggering words. So we kind of wanted to talk about it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to let you talk about what you've seen. What have you seen? Like, I bet you see a lot of that
All of the
in
things.
therapy. So what do teenagers tell you? Like,
So the teenagers, not so much, honestly. It's more adults using these words, because teenagers don't really know what's going on, and most times it's the parents that are the issue. But with adults, I've come across adults that are like, I've had people tell me like, oh, I feel this way, but if I just do that, like they literally put both of the words together, and I'm like, what are you talking about? If I just do this, it should be fine. Okay, we'll do it. Well, you want to do it, do it. What's the problem? You try to challenge it because they want to tell you that all they have to do is just do it because they've been told. If you're depressed, just clean up your space and you'll feel better. But if you don't, then you're depressed and there's a problem and you're the problem. We're just adding all of the words together into this really long sentence to prove a point. We want to tell you, just do it. Again, we're trying to be Nike, telling you to just do it, but just do it. Like, it's just like this feedback loop of all of the bullshit. If someone is sad, you can't say, just do something. Well, they can't. This is depression. It's clinical depression. You can't tell someone to clean up their space and think that that's going to work. It just doesn't work that easy. Like, and if you say, I love you, but, or that was great, but, oh, yeah, cool, but no, because you're not giving me any feedback that's positive. You're just telling me that something is wrong.
Yeah, you're actually invalidating what you just said. Mm-hmm. So I love you, but I think that, maybe we can work on our relationship. What is that really saying? That's saying, I'm putting a condition on my love for you. Mm-hmm. Or it could mean, you know what? I do love you this much, but I could love you this much if you just did something that I wanted. Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh, those words are deadly together. Ooh, that's a cocktail for disaster.
Exactly.
Because then people come to therapists and they tell us these sentences and these things that they're told. And then I challenge it. I'm like, why do you have to just do the thing? Why? And I think it's more of partnership.
By the way, we are told as therapists never to use the word why, because it kind of messes everything up in therapy. We're here to tell you
that's my favorite word.
No.
I say why all the time because I want to challenge, why do you agree with this? Because most times when you start walking out of that anxious thought of if I just picked up my room, it should be fine. Okay, well then do it. Do you feel better?
Right.
No, right? Okay. Does it help you a little bit? Sure. There's some things going on, maybe some oxytocin, some serotonin, fine. But is it changing your complete depression? Is it really going to make you not depressed? If you just clean up your room and you don't need medication or a therapist, you need to just clean your room and you'll be fine.
Just take a shower. That's the first step in everything. Just take that first step. Mm-hmm. And you'll feel so much better, and you'll feel motivated to get going after that.
Or just don't complain about it.
Right.
You're claiming it to name it, and now it's a thing. Okay, well, it was a thing before I said it out loud, so what's the difference now?
So the word just, and actually, again, invalidates everything. It's telling you, who cares how you're feeling? Who cares? All you have to do is do this, and you'll be just fine. Mm-hmm. But
and it's also
I am saying, but
we can't help it because another thing too. It just came to my mind was at least, and Brene Brown.
Yes,
love this queen. Yes, she talks about that. She was like, the silver lining is not something that people want to hear. That at least you're sad, but at least you're not dead, or at least you could go to work every day. It's, again, very invalidating. I think that just what came to mind when you said it was
somebody
validating.
Can say, I'm sorry you're feeling that way, but at least you have this. All that does is take away everything you just said in the very beginning. It's like, you're not sorry. You're just kind of...
You just wanted to have an opinion on someone's lives, and you can't help, and that's fine. You are allowed to be like, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I don't understand it, but I'm here for you. There is this whole animation that was happening with Brene Brown's whole shame and stuff, and I love it. But that's it.
Versus empathy.
Yes. When she's like, don't say at least. Be like, I'm here for you. I might not understand what you're going through, but I can listen to you and I can be here for you. I don't need to tell you.
At least the sunshine is out.
That shit. Yeah, that animation, Brene Brown. Oh my God. She is
so
the
good.
queen.
If you haven't seen it, we'll put a link somewhere so that you can see it.
It's really good.
It's good. It's really good.
But we say it all the time. Mm-hmm. We say, but just at least, and I have to catch myself in the middle of a sentence. I'm like, no, I can't say that because that's totally invalidating. And we're trying to validate, because we grow up saying this stuff.
Yes.
If we just shut the fuck up, maybe it'll be different. No, we have to vent it out. We have to talk it out, and we have to solve it. We can't just sit here and just say, it's fine. It's fine. It's just fine. If you just clean up your room, you'll feel better. I can tell you right now, it doesn't make me feel better when I don't feel well. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. No.
I can imagine you get migraines.
Uh-huh.
And if someone said to you, oh, you'll feel better if you just put a ice mask on your eyes, you'll feel better. Just do that instead.
No.
How does that make you feel when somebody
I want to throat punch somebody.
You're right.
I would literally want to throat punch. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of my face, because I know what I have to do for myself. I love when people are like, I'm so sorry, that really sucks. Yes, it really does suck. That's all I want to hear. I don't want you to tell me what just to do, because it's not like I haven't spent money over the years trying to figure out what works for me. It's not the just or the but or the at least. It's, you just got to give people space to say shit. And you have to be okay with that. Like, you have to just validate what they're saying and just say, all right, fine. Like, I get it, right? Like, I'm so sorry that you feel this way or that this is happening and I don't understand, but I'm here for you.
Period. You don't have to say anything else.
There's no solution.
Like, stop yourself from going further into that. But I think you could do this, or, you know, at least.
Yeah. If you just do this, then nah, we're just using all of the things and we're making it that much harder for the person to feel supported. And it's the invalidation that really makes a difference.
And you know, it's so funny because even if you want to, like, add on to a sentence, like, let's say you want to say, oh, that really sucks, but I think you should do this. If you just change that one word but to and, oh, that really sucks. And, you know, perhaps you can, or even a couple words, perhaps you can, like, try this. What that's doing is you're validating and you're also trying to help, and it seems like you're helping. But if you say but, all you're doing is saying...
You're just dropping that whole first part of the sentence.
Exactly. You don't care.
It starts at but.
Like, but I know better than you is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Even though you don't. You don't know what anybody else is going through. You're not in their shoes. You're not in their body. You're not, you know.
And I even told my clients this. I'm like, it sounds like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. All of my work and everything, it's very easy to tell someone else to support them. And I can understand that. And when you're talking, it's really easy to kind of get lost in the moment. But here's the but. But in this moment, all you have to do is just listen to people and let them tell you what's going on and let them tell you if they need your help. Because sometimes it really is just I'm so sorry. I'm here for you. How can I help you? No buts, no just go do this. No at least. Like, oh, at least you're not dead. Bitch, I could be now. You don't know. You don't know what people are going through.
Let me tell you, a lot of people who have migraines feel like they want to die.
Oh, all the time.
Because they're so bad. Mm-hmm. So, just to invalidate somebody's pain.
Yeah. And then you start talking about depression, where people have gone through some shit. People don't love depression. This is not a fun... Let's party. This is so great. Let's take a pill and we're all cured. This does not. Mental health is there forever. Trauma is there forever. Depression, anxiety, and anything in between. It's for life. This is how our brain and our body reacts to events. We feel what we feel, and it's so real, and it hurts. It hurts every day. We are not invincible. Like, we can't be taken down easy.
And anybody that tells you that time heals all wounds, that is such BS. Time doesn't heal wounds. It may come to a point where it doesn't hurt as much, but it doesn't heal the wound, you know?
We get scars.
Yeah.
We have scars for everything. Yeah. Everything leaves a little bit behind. I mean, if you hurt your leg, they got to get amputated, it's just going to be fine. Like, you have no limb. It's the same thing for mental health. It's literally the same thing. It is something that will stay in your body. Trauma is very implicit. We feel it in our central nervous system, our hearts, our stomachs, our limbs, everything. We feel this to our core of who we are. It does not go away just because we say it's over. Just get over it. Okay, well, that was great. Now I'm cured. And I tell people all the time, if that worked, I would cease to exist as a therapist. I would not have a career. I couldn't be sitting here and telling you anything, because if it is just do it, okay, cool. Goodbye. Never again do you need a therapist. But we all know that that's not true.
We all know that's not true. And you know it too. So if anybody tells you that, how do you feel? Like, literally tell us. Like, put it in the comments, or like DM us, or email us. MindScapes717@gmail.com. You know, we're there. So, you know, if somebody said that to you, So we just had Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that food was great, but...
dot.
Right. But it could have been better.
Or you have a nice house, but are you sure you want to put that
messy.
there?
Or, I mean, there's...
Oh, at least you have somewhere to sit.
Right.
It's fine.
At least it's big enough where you can walk around.
All of the things.
You don't feel like cooking? Well, just set a timer for yourself. Just set a timer for yourself. You may not feel like cooking, but if you just set a timer for yourself to start like thinking about when you should start, then
you should be fine. You should.
Do you even like hear how ridiculous this sounds? Like, how would you feel if this was someone talking to you?
And in all fairness as well, right? Because I have to catch myself all the time when I say these things. We say this very lightly of like,
yes,
obviously, we are taught this way that we're not really taught how to communicate effectively. We communicate in one way. We only listen to respond. We do not listen to understand what people are saying. And when we respond, we want to fix things, to get over it to the next thing. We do not take a second to take in people's things and ask them, what do you need from me? How can I help you with this? Do you need me to listen, or do you need me to give you advice? Do you need me to fix it? What do you need from me? If we just remove the, I got you, but just do this and you should be fine. And if you just clean your room, you'll feel so much better, and you won't be depressed, and you'll be back to yourself. If we just take a pause. And I know this is hard because, again, I have caught myself time and time again, and I call it out. I'm like, you know what? I was wrong for that. I'm not going to say that. What we're going to do is reframe this anxious thought that you're having and turn it around, and we're going to challenge what's going on. Because I get caught up. Huh?
How would you reframe something like that?
So if someone is telling me how they're feeling, and then most of the times they tell me, I don't say but, because I don't like doing that to people. So if they come into the office and they're like, oh, I had a fight with someone, but they said that it would never happen again. Okay, cool. So then what we do is we talk about, well, if I just stop arguing with them, it'll be fine. Okay. So if you just stop arguing, let's look at that thought. And if we turn it around and we say, well, what was the argument about? How did you feel? What was said? What does that mean?
Have they done this before?
We need details about what this argument was about, because people are very quick to come in, and if they are gaslit or made to believe that they were wrong in the first place, then we have to turn it around. Because I believe that just because we are in a society that women are nags, can we turn that on our head, turn it around and say, why the fuck am I a nag? Why am I repeating myself so much that you are comfortable with calling me a nag? Motherfucker, you're not doing the thing. Like, I say this all the time to my clients. I'm like, don't you come here and telling me this shit, because at the end of the day, that's not fair. It's not fair that someone gets to make you question yourself and question your mental health. I can't even tell you how you feel. You tell me how you feel and we talk about it. What are the thoughts? What's the anxiety? What is happening? I don't know how you feel until you tell me. I could probably be really good about guessing because of what you told me, but you still have to tell me. I don't know, my guy. You tell me how you feel. And if it feels good or feels bad, then we talk about it. But I turn it around to be like, tell me more about the issue. What was the argument? How long did it last? What happened before? Walk me from the argument backwards. Let's go back in time and walk through this. What happened?
Do you ever do the empty chair with your clients?
No.
I think that, who was it?
I tell my people to do it on their own. I don't do it in the office or nothing. It's
all
like
that means is like you talk to an empty chair as if the person that you are bringing this issue up with is sitting in that chair.
Yeah.
And so you're talking to that empty chair. I was just wondering if she did that in her practice. So
no, I usually have the client tell me about what happened. We just run out of time. The hour is nothing.
Yeah.
Because again, some people want to come in and do pleasantries. Everything is fine.
Until
I don't have nothing to talk
the
about.
last 10 minutes of therapy, and then all of a sudden it all vomits out.
I'm like, you chose this life. You chose to come in here and lie to me for 45 minutes. And these last 10, y'all be fucking with me. I'm like, all right. So now we're going to talk about this next time because obviously you done pissed me off. But yeah, no, I usually tell people a lot of my people like journaling, which is very ironic because I hate journaling. I have tried and tried. And I don't tell my clients. I ask them, do you like writing? Journal. If you like music, music. What do you like? Do the thing. If you like to organize, you like to clean, do it. Clean, organize, live your best life. But journaling, I cannot. I tell my clients, I'm like, look, there's no rules to journaling. If you don't have to do it every day, you don't have to do a Dear Diary style. You don't even have to make it make sense. Write words down. Fucking phrases if you want to. Bullet. Anything you want.
Emojis. Like
anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool journals that you can buy and write with prompts and information and all of the stuff.
And then there's apps like Penzu and Penzu, I think. And others that you can journal, on to your heart's
that
content.
Is what you like. I tell my clients, I don't ever say journaling first because I fucking hate it. I can't do journaling. I lose interest so quickly. Even if I have a prompt, I'm like, damn, I don't know. And then I just like write whatever and I move on and I never come back to it. So to be fair, I don't say it, but a lot of my clients love fucking writing. Mm-hmm. So I tell them to write it down. How do you feel? What happened? What is the anxious thought? And challenge and reframe that thought. What is the problem? Because it's not the thing. I always say it is not the thing that's the problem. It's how you feel. Mm-hmm. It's what has brought you to this thing. It has been a lot of things that happened before, and you have felt some type of way. Because then you probably heard that at least. Just do it. You're fine. Just clean. Or the timer. I love that because a lot of people, my clients, I don't want a timer. I said, then don't use a timer. The fuck? Don't do it. Like, right. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. But if people tell you just do it.
So what would you say to somebody that said that to you? Well, this is great, and at least, you have an hour to yourself or something like that. What would you say to the person who is receiving this at least, or this just, or this but, type of thing?
Put it back on them. Like, what do you think?
Right. So you say, okay, what do you think?
Yeah.
And what is the person then? What I'm trying to get to our audience is how would they be able to reframe that without you being there to say, well, come on, let's think about this. Let's pause. Let's think about this. So they're in the middle of a conversation with someone. They're not feeling well at all. And the person says, oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry you're feeling this way, but you still need to, cook for 10 people for Thanksgiving.
Well, then this is where, to be fair, we can get into this for the rest of my life, which I plan to, because I love this. But with something like this, and this is why I'm always torn when we say, well, you don't have to talk to someone if you don't want to. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this, it's so hard to just have one answer. Because if you're in an abusive relationship, you don't know what the problem is. And you'll do it anyway. And you'll just be super depressed and super sad and anxious. But if you are in that situation, in the moment, you're not going to know what to do. Mm-hmm. And this is the problem when we are dealing with someone making us feel not important or invalidated. Right. We feel less than in that moment. Well, just do it. You're like, why can't I just do it? Because then you start circulating this idea that, like, fuck, why can't I do it? I should be able to do it. It's so easy. And then the grass is greener on the other side. Girl, I get so many people, well, they do it. How do you know? Mm-hmm. Do you know what they're doing? Well, no, but what? What does it look like? Why do you feel so comfortable with their better? I said, you do realize, and I tell my clients, and they think it's funny, you do realize that I don't wait you're not my only client. I'm literally busy 9 to 7. You want to tell me that you're the only one that feels this way? But I'm busy every day, 5-6 days a week, most times. Think about that again. Well, they what? What do you know? Tell me more. Tell me about their life if you know so much about their life. What's the problem? Well, they just seem like, well, yeah. I seem like I got my shit together, right? well, what I don't. I'm honest. I'm like, I got my own therapist I talk to. This shit is not easy. It's easy when you talk to someone else that has no skin in the game. I have no emotional connection to their decisions. I care about my clients. I truly do want them to be better and to move on from me. And I literally become a blimp, and they can say, well, what would Tania say? Because a lot of my clients say that. And I'm like, good. Because it's not what I'm saying. It's what you're taking from what we're talking about. Because I'm asking you the questions that I want you to ask yourself. Because I ask myself the same questions. How am I feeling? What's the problem? What are we talking about? Someone just made me feel less than or made me feel invalidated, and my feelings are hurt. So now I'm going to act out. So then let's work backwards from there. What's the problem? What happened? Write it down. Write down what happened. What are the thoughts? And if you feel like you weren't listened to because you weren't validated, then you say that. You say, please, can you not say that to me? Like, that really hurt my feelings. And that's where I could say you could just write it down, but if people are in those situations, a lot of my people even now still struggle with that. I think this is the biggest struggle with a lot of my clients. They don't know that it's a problem until I point it out. And even then it takes us multiple sessions, and they're like, ooh, maybe this is bad.
I used to say to ask people who are actually saying this kind of things to you to turn around and ask them if they're okay. I literally, because it kind of stops them, like, what? Mm-hmm. Why are you asking me that? And then the person can say,
yeah,
look, you're saying that you feel bad for me, and you're also saying it doesn't matter. Are you okay? Because that seems like you have an issue with me being sick.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know, and at that point, you've kind of reframed it already, because you're putting the onus of that back onto them instead of taking it into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because that's what's the problem.
Yeah.
They make us feel like we did something wrong. We are the problem. We need to fix ourselves, or the idea that we are even a thing to fix in the first place. It's about feelings. It's about you saying something to someone and they feel really sad. Like, if you're just like, just get up and go. You're like, yeah, because I haven't thought about that shit every day of my life. I haven't laid in bed for days contemplating. Get up. You could just do this. We always say that to ourselves. Yeah. Just get over it. It's fine. It's nothing. You'll get over it. What happened, happened. Just do it. Just get up and go. If I could just get up and go, my life would be so much easier. But this is what we can't do. We just can't do it. Like, we can't just tell ourselves, just do it. Just get up and go clean your room and go run your errands. Because that's not how this works. Especially when we talk about depression. Depression is in your bones. It's just weighs. It's like the world, the weight of the world is literally on your shoulders. So getting up and brushing your teeth is already too fucking much.
And I think that part of the problem here is that depression is a household word. We're so used to hearing the word depression, but it's pop psychology definition that we know, not the actual diagnoses. Mm-hmm. If someone is diagnosed as depressed, depression is not this, oh, you can get over it type of thing. It's not like that at all. It's so much more difficult.
Because it's more than sadness.
Yes.
It's like, and I'm sure this is, everybody has seen this to a certain degree, but like when they match up the Winnie the Pooh characters to mental health. Right. And it's like Eeyore. It's very much this cloud over your head. And it's so cloudy and foggy and rainy, and it's just uncomfortable. It's like this very heavy. It's so heavy. And you don't know what to do with it.
But you notice that none of the characters say, at least do this to Eeyore.
He is included in everything.
Always included. They always invite him. It's always very much a positive attitude towards Eeyore, regardless of how Eeyore is.
I've seen some Eeyores in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah. It is, I mean, it's almost like it's contagious in that moment. It's so heavy.
It is heavy.
People walk around with so much heaviness and emptiness and worthlessness. You tell someone that feels worthless to just fucking do it, you're literally telling them they're not worth it.
Right. And you're validating what they already see in themselves at that point.
The negative core beliefs that they're not worthy and they are no one and the only thing they deserve is to not exist anymore.
And why would you do that to somebody?
Yeah, right. And I know it's one of those things where like we're saying just don't say it, but be mindful. Just don't say it.
Right. But
be mindful. Like seriously.
We do anyhow. Yeah. All of us do, regardless of where we've been and what we've learned.
I still
and
do
through our
it.
Experiences.
Yeah.
We all do it. But if we can be mindful of what we say and we can actually say, you know what, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Or backtrack and say, you know, I'm going to change my sentence here a little because I realized it was a little insensitive. So let me just kind of backtrack here.
You could just say, I'm sorry. I what do you need from me? What does support look like from me to you? What do you need?
Do you need, as you said, do you need me to give you advice or do you need me to shut up and listen? Because I can do either.
Because 9 times out of 10, people just want you to listen and to just sit with them and hold space. There is no solution to depression. There's no fixing. There's no changing to fix. Like, we do things to feel better, to cope better. We get medication, we do therapy, but we have to talk about it. We have to acknowledge it. We almost have to be friends with it because mental health does not go away. Depression and it seems a lot like it's not worth talking to someone about this or medication, but it is a lifelong thing. You're either going to be able to deal with it by talking to someone every so often to get it off of your chest, and you're like, you know what, I'm done with this, I'm gonna go off, live your life, and just know that we're always going to be here if you need to come back, because you don't have to stay for like the rest of your life. People can come back. You can be with someone. I have people right now that are over a year with me. We're coming up until we're doing like every other, then we're going to do monthly. We can do maintenance. You can go away. It's up to you, but it's one of those things where the heaviness is always going to be there. And I tell my clients all the time, I know that you feel better today, but tomorrow might be one of those days that you're going to struggle. You need to do what you need to do for you.
That's right.
This is why we talk about coping skills and we talk about family. We talk about who do you have? Because I am not 24/7. I ain't crisis. I'm like, I will see you once a week, twice at most if we're talking about trauma. But I can't be there 24/7. But I love it when my clients say, what would Tanya say? Not because it's about me, but it's because they're taking those questions away from the session to ask themselves to take a step back, to be like, okay, what would she ask me so I can think about it? Because then my clients are wonderful. When they're ready to see what would Tanya say, and then they tell me what they've done, I'm like, oh, you fucking are the best. Like, those are the things. I want you to take a pause. It's not about what I'm saying. It's about thinking about stopping for the moment. Where do we go from here? What is next? So I guess this is where we move on to part 2.
Yes, we're going to go to part 2 now. And, we'll see you in part 2. So, toodaloo. It's okay. Another technical, kind of crazy. So we are going to go to part 2. Should I just keep this one on, though? So we'll just have one YouTube.
What?
One YouTube video.
Yeah, let's
and
just
then,
do one.
Yeah, so now we're going to go to part 2. So give me a moment before I do all this over again. Okay, so... La 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 la. What are we going to talk about next?
I guess we can continue the conversation.
Do you need another high noon?
I do. These are so good.
Yeah, they are.
I like all of them.
You like the tequila ones?
I do. I love tequila.
Yeah.
It's my go-to. I like vodka, but tequila.
Yeah, I'm the vodka. She's the tequila. And now you know our personalities.
That says everything. I just told on myself.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and save this so we can do another one. This is 21, right?
I think so.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. All right.
Where are we going to be? Are we like at 25 when we go?
Yeah. I think so. I'm going to be at 25 when we go on vacation.
That's crazy.
We can't wait. It's less than 30 days now.
You're so counting. I love it.
Less than 30 days, and we will be off to New Orleans and then onto a ship where we're going to be traveling on the seas. So excited. But I am worried about you and your migraines.
Oh, I'm a little worried, but I already said I would be drunk, so we're fine. I won't notice if it's me tipping because I'm drunk or because of the ship. It'll be fine. I'll just take Dramamine for the nighttime so I can sleep all night. I'll be fine. If not, we'll figure out a way to be fine.
Exactly.
I'll just eat and drink all day. It should be fine.
And it's funny because when I went on the cruise the last time, they were counting people. So this is number 14. You know, so they.
Bastards.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna take a long nap then.
But
But you need to start over. I took a nap. I went to a sleep. Do it again. Bastards.
Okay, so here we are. We're starting over.
But it's like 15 for every 24 hours.
No, I'm taking this off now.
Before we forget.
Yeah. So doing that, doing this. I think we got it, right?
Yeah, because it's working.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start again. Look at it. My buns disappear all the time. Looks like I'm a bald person. Like, bald. There. Bald.
Every time you move, it looks different. That's funny.
All right, so here we go. We are going to... Oh, I have to do this again.
I think that tequila got to Leslie already.
Yeah.
Not yeah.
Tequila is... Woo, and look, feel how heavy that is.
God.
I have a lot.
She feeling it. It's going to be a good conversation.
That's what tequila does to me.
This is what tequila does to you. Oh, that's
Tania
so funny.
and Leslie, MindScapes717. This is our 22nd podcast. It's part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we just are going to have one YouTube with part 1 and part 2. And these poor people are going to be watching our YouTube. Or like, oh my God, they're crazy.
That's funny. Maybe we'll get more viewers this way for this crazy. We just gotta add tequila to the mix, and then it all is fair game.
Get you your drink.
It's okay.
So...
We'll just finish this.
Okay.
We'll go eat and have another drink.
I just talked about it. I literally just said, "Oh, I'll go get your drink before we start this." Did I get her drink?
It's a tequila. We'll just blame the tequila. You're not a tequila person.
No, we were just saying this too. She's tequila, I'm vodka, and that's all you need to know. Because literally, that's our personality.
It is. No, it absolutely is. I never thought about it. So literally right now, where Leslie's not even done with her tequila drink, I have killed it.
I have half left, and she's like, "Oh, this is really good."
Yeah, and she's like struggling through it. It's good. It's just she's struggling. And you saw her little dancey dance. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So
yeah.
Well, part 2. We're going to have a lot of fun with this
2.
one. More of the same conversation about words that invalidate feelings, invalidate the person, and talking about how we can turn it around to better support them. And we kind of mentioned it last time. I think we were just saying about asking that person that needs to be listened to what they need. And we know the holiday is coming up, and this last one from yesterday, just having these conversations are really difficult because when we think about mental health, and a lot of my clients, if they were able to say this in public, they would, that I always come back to the family. I always come back to our childhoods. I always come back to our parents. And this is in no way to parent bash or to shame our parents or guilt them of anything. it's these interactions have a huge impact on us and how we interact with other people and how we feel about ourselves. And this just goes with what we're talking about when we say words like just or buts or at least, or just tell people what to do, because we need them to be over whatever they're going through. Instead of asking the questions of what's going on, we say, just do it. Just clean up your room. Just, go to work every day and clean up and you'll be fine. Just go and do it. And we're like, that's not how that works, because it just makes people feel super, super unheard and super misunderstood. And then this is where the sadness comes in and the feelings of worthlessness, because think about it. I don't know, like Leslie mentioned on the last one, like if people say, just do it, you're like, okay, because I never thought about doing that fucking thing. Like,
exactly.
It's stupid.
Exactly.
It's not even how it works, because people in bed that are depressed want to get up and just do it. But literally you're telling someone who is worthless, who feels worthless. They feel very worthless. They feel empty and they feel like nothing matters anymore. And you're going to just say, just do it?
Yes, making them feel even worse than they already feel. And
Right.
it validates that self-image, that negative self-image
Yeah.
that they have, rather than what you're really trying to do.
Right.
To motivate them to move forward. We also talked about definitions a lot. When somebody is clinically depressed, it's much different than the pop psychology word of depressed. And there's not a lot of understanding of the differences of the definitions in that regard. And so when you hear that somebody is sad instead of actually clinically depressed, you think that it's going to be easy to get them motivated to do something because it's easy for you. Why wouldn't it be easy for them? When you're sad, you're able to get up.
Right.
But the fact is that clinical depression is not what you think it is.
It's not just sadness.
No.
In how we diagnose, when we look at the symptoms of major depression disorder, the first one that we kind of ask is depressed mood. You can have a depressed mood and not necessarily be depressed. You can be sad, and depressed mood is the sadness that we carry that something happened. There is a disorder that we use as adjustment disorder, which is usually the bottom of the rank where we start. I took a trauma training, and the trainer talked about adjustment disorder and how it isn't a trauma response, because it's bereavement. It is divorce. It is any kind of loss that you can think of. It is grief. It is anything to adjustment. We have to adjust to a new normal. We have to adjust to what is happening. And we have specifiers like depressed mood. And we don't necessarily start at depression as a disorder. We start at adjustment because something happened. Something has happened that we feel super sad about, or we feel huge struggle.
Overcome. Right? I hate that word. Sorry. That's another word that I'm
I agree.
Not very fond of.
I agree. There's a lot of words that when you start getting in the world of mental health, you're like, fuck all of these words. They should not be in the English language, because they are very invalidating. It's like, just do it to overcome and you'll be fine. No, that's not how this fucking works. But these things are very important, and kind of just making sure we still hold up this mental health and culture, that we can't disentangle. We just can't get rid of one without the other. But I think because of the holidays, we kind of talked about even doing the first part of this, just having these conversations, because it is really difficult to give one answer that works for everyone. And I know we kind of talked that a little bit. And I know Leslie gave a really good way of how she was doing it before and how I do it now.
Yeah.
There's just different ways, and it's all about putting it back, like Leslie said, the onus on the other person. I am sharing with you how I feel, and then you come at me with, just do this and then you'll feel better. I don't feel better. Just already sharing, I have felt even sadder and maybe even more worthless, because all you have to say to me is just do it. So you're making me feel like I'm wasting my time and I'm not being truthful, and maybe I'm even lying about how I feel. So maybe I'm like, maybe I am very worthless, and maybe I don't deserve to live, maybe I don't deserve the things that I have, and I feel even more empty. And anhedonia, which is a beautiful word for lacking pleasure and pleasurable activities. That's right. All of these things set in, and then you start looking at people differently, and you start looking at yourself differently. So it's one of those things where it's very easy to just do it, to just clean, just go to work, just get off your ass and go do something.
Just take a shower.
The daily hygiene stuff. I have a lot of clients that feel super bad about that. That's the depression at its worst.
Yeah.
And they feel very shameful about it. And we talk about it, and it's, wouldn't it be perfect if you just could? But if you just could, you wouldn't have this issue.
And it's worse when it comes from people that you trust. Like, okay, so in a TikTok video that I did actually,
I think you did it yesterday.
Thanksgiving Eve, I think. You know, I talked about family and who family is, and how sometimes, during the holidays, we don't feel that joyfulness that you're supposed to feel during these holidays because of family. You might be feuding with them. You might not get along with them. You might, other things might be going on. But family is who you choose to be family, whether that is actual blood relations or whether that's friends, lovers, partners, whoever. It doesn't freaking matter. Family is
it's comfort.
Yeah.
You need to feel safe, secure, comforted.
Yeah.
It's not the blood. And I come from a culture, and we all come from different cultures that suggest that. But blood is not thicker than water. Blood means nothing if they're the ones that are causing you the harm. That's and exactly this is why I go back to childhood, and my people are like, I know. My clients know. We're not here to shame, blame, or anything. We're just here to talk about how we feel affected by people. People affect us every day. People will make us feel inferior, will make us feel invalidated when they say to us, just do it. It makes us even sadder. We are more worthless in our mind. So no, it's not easy to just give a solution to someone, because now what you've done is created a bigger problem for the other person. And this is just, and I know we're talking about how we can impact someone else, but you don't know what that person is dealing with. And you can almost assume, maybe I won't give them a solution. I'll ask them what they need from me. Because family will do that. They think they know better. And I think they truly believe that.
And they take for granted. Without actually seriously considering consequences of words and how words can affect us. So
every day.
But can family learn, the family that you have lived with, can they learn? Some of them can, some of them can't. It depends on the type of person they are. That's something for you to decide, if whatever. But
right. But this is where boundaries come in.
Right.
But you say it. You say, hey, I don't like when you say this to me. If you could please avoid that, then right, it would help me to share more with you.
So what Tania just did there, she put the feelings in focus, she put a limit on it, and then she gave a solution. Okay? So that's something that we should all think about. Like, I felt really upset when you said this to me. I feel like maybe we can learn how to talk to each other better and communicate better, and this is how I think we can do it. Honestly, being upfront and setting those boundaries and limits is extremely important.
For you.
It doesn't matter if it's a spouse. It doesn't matter if it's a partner. It doesn't matter if it's a friend.
It doesn't matter if it's a fucking
member.
stranger.
Yeah.
You set that tone.
Exactly.
Boundaries, like I like to tell people, boundaries are for you to teach people how to treat you. You say, hey, I want you in my life, but this is where we are okay with but. Because we could say, you're awesome. These 3 things are the 3 things that I won't tolerate. I will not tolerate you being disrespectful to me. And disrespect means that when I talk to you, you listen and you give me space. You give me space to feel comforted. Because some people, and we don't talk like this. We don't give boundaries. We come from places where boundaries are not allowed. In Spanish, I always say there is no word for boundaries. There's a movie, The Valet, It's with Eugenio Derbez, and he is wonderful. He's a Mexican actor, and literally he tells this white woman who he's like doing the movie with, right? There's no Spanish word for boundaries. There isn't. There is no word. I literally have sat with my other fellow Latinas, and nobody can tell me a word for boundaries in Spanish because we don't have them. This is how much of this word does not exist anywhere else. No, it doesn't. We have no boundaries with people. We treat people how the fuck we want to treat them, and we move on with it. And this is why people get so sad, because people don't know how to treat people. And when we try to stand up for ourselves, and I always tell my people, setting a boundary is not always saying no, because that's a lie. Mm-hmm. If you are a kind person and you want to help, I say do it. I'm not here to change you, because I think we need more kindness in the world. Be kind, be giving, be who you want to be, but set the limit. Say, like I tell people, think about the savings account. You got $50. Somebody asked you for $50, but without this $50, you got nothing for a week. And you're like, oh, well, let me see. Well, no, let me give me the $50. I'll give it to you soon. And you're like, okay, I'll pay you back right away. You give him the $50 at your demise, because now you got no money. Now you have zero in your savings, zero in your checking, and that's all you had. And now this person doesn't know that, though. So honestly, the one that's wrong is the one that gave the $50. And I tell people, you cannot assume people know your situation if you're not sharing your situation. And this is what a boundary is. You share the situation with the person. You say, hey, I don't have $50, but I am willing to give you 10. I got 10 to give you. A limit. You don't have to say no. If you still want to give because you want to give and you love this person, you can give $10. But you can't assume that they understand that that's all you got, because you literally have no money. So when they come back to ask you for another 10 and you say yes, they're going to keep asking. They don't know your situation. You don't know what that person has, but if you keep asking, they're going to keep giving. Then who knows what's the problem here? Who knows the situation better than the person giving the money? But if you don't say, I don't have it right now, I just don't have it, I can't give it to you, I'm so sorry. How can I help you? Can I help you look up how to get money? Do you need a job? Can we find a job for you? What do you need so I can better support you? But I didn't got the $10 today. You set the tone. You set the expectation. You said, I got you, bro, but I don't have the money.
You're still being kind.
You're still being...
You're just being honest.
I tell people all the time, please don't think it's a no. Kindness is wonderful. We need more kindness. I have so many kind clients.
But setting boundaries and limits to how much you can do is actually self-care.
That's what I tell my people all the time. I say, you can't tell me that if you set a boundary and people respect it, you can't tell me you don't have a better relationship with this person. It brings intimacy into a relationship. We are closer. You say, hey, this is what I need from you to be your friend. I'm like, cool. I respect it. You're going to trust me. Mm-hmm. You're going to trust. And I tell my clients, between us, you have to trust me. And I have to trust you. We just have to trust each other in this process, because if we don't trust each other, we're going to be wasting our time. So if you come in here, and my biggest thing is cussing. As maybe we haven't noticed. I don't know. Maybe it's too subtle. I don't know. I love to cuss. And I tell my clients on the first phone call that I do the consult, I'm like, hey, if cussing is disrespectful for you or you feel uncomfortable, please tell me. That's my boundary. I cuss, but I want to make sure that I've had people be like, don't do it. I'm like, I won't. I mean, it's hard. And I watch myself, but I do it. It's not to be different. It's not to do things on purpose or to be fake, because I know people want to use that shit. No, it's not that I'm not being authentic. I'm being respectful. I don't want to say something. I don't have to cuss. I love it. It just brings everything home. I love cussing. I don't care. But I'm not going to disrespect my client if they don't like it, because I don't have to cuss in session. It's so much fun when I can. But when I can't, I'm respecting their values. That's all you're doing when we say boundaries. It's not you saying no. It's not you pulling away or no contact. I'm not above any of those freaking things. I believe in no contact. I believe in the word of no, bitch. No, 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 no. But I also believe in kindness. And you can say, I got 10 for you. If you need more, let me help you find the more. I just don't have it. Who else have you asked? Do you need a job? What are we doing to better support you? But sometimes you just don't have it, and that's okay. And if they don't want to talk to you because you say no, or I don't got it,
then
boy, bye.
Yeah.
Boy, girl,
red
bye.
flag.
Get the fuck out.
Red flag.
Because then they're not going to respect you.
I wish I could do like this, be technical and put red flags all over this YouTube stuff, you know. Wouldn't that be cool?
We need to figure out how to do it.
I know.
You're going to figure it out before I can.
Actually, Shay said she wants to be our editor so that she could do it.
She knows
Shay's
how to
my
do
daughter.
Shit?
She knows how to do all
Oh my God, we're about to, you're going to be sick of us. Poor Shay doesn't even know what she got into.
I know, exactly.
We don't know how to do none of this shit.
And then she says, are you going to pay me? I'm like, hell no. No, I'm not going to pay you.
She wants money? Nah, girl. No, this is pro bono work. We need to learn.
This is you helping your mama.
You need to play that card. Play the mama card, because I don't got it. So you play it.
So, set that boundary.
Love it. See? Just leave it up to Leslie to bring it back to what we're talking about. No, but yes, boundaries. I know it's fun and games until it's not.
Yes.
But seriously, like, the no is not boundaries. Now if you're just saying no, and that's it, and you're not telling people why, what you got, like, no, that doesn't work. You can't
not
say
a boundary.
It's not.
That's a stop.
It is a stop, but nobody knows what the problem is. But
right.
Like we said, you say the boundary, you kind of give them the feeling and how to better not pass that boundary. How do you not push that limit with me? I told you I got 10. If you need more than 10, that's not me, but I can give you 10. Do you want the 10? You're like, well, no. Okay. If you need more than that, I'm sorry, but I can't give you more. And if you don't want my 10, then you can go figure out wherever you need it. I can't help you. Period. You say it calmly. You don't need to be disrespectful, even though they are being super rude, but you can just say that. You can just be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't got it. And even then, I tell my clients, you don't have to say I'm sorry if you don't want to, because you're not doing anything wrong. There's no guilt here to say I'm sorry.
Put it back on them. Are you okay?
I could totally see her doing that shit too. Like really questioning them about like, are you alright? Because I feel like you're a little crazy right now. No, yeah. Absolutely. But I think it's like the onus, right? It's just the responsibility of the other person, because it's just not fair to be stuck in a situation where you feel bad about something that is not your fault. Exactly. It's not you doing anything wrong more than just you telling someone, I got you this much, but I still love you, all of the love, but this is as much as I got for you, because I have my other eggs, my other baskets I need to take care of. This is not my only basket. I can't give you everything, because if I don't have for me, then what happens? Because you're not giving me the thing.
And also, if you do have somebody in your life that you don't necessarily trust, who is considered family or some sort of relation to you, and they're asking you things and you don't want to do anything, it is still okay to say no.
It's okay to say fuck no.
Say no.
You say no. I love you, but no.
I mean, we're talking about, being kind and setting boundaries and everything, but if you don't feel safe with somebody, if you don't feel like this person is a friend or somebody you can rely on, or somebody who you can have a conversation with, don't put those boundaries. Just say no. And I'm
no,
just which is, I know it's a lot harder than to say no, but to be honest with you, if you don't feel safe with them, or if they're going to give you trouble, leave. Try and
but
help
that's
yourself.
Where you right, and that's where you have to see the difference. But with this idea of setting boundaries and telling people what you need, what your needs are, but also what your limit is to give, the safety, comfort.
Safety is important.
It's number one.
Prioritize yourself. You really have to, even if it is someone close to you, mother, father, brother, partner, whatever.
Yep. It really is usually those people. We are hurt the most by our connections, and we are biologically engineered to want these connections with our family.
Socially, it is taught to us consistently that family is everything, and that, you know, we should give back as much as possible. And that's a cultural thing too, right? Culture, in your culture, in
everything.
my culture,
doesn't matter what they do to us. We are here to pay back something that we don't owe, because will never ever follow that. I do not believe that as kids of our parents, we don't owe them anything. But there is this assumed responsibility to not say no, because no is disrespectful, or even questioning anything. Questions are disrespectful. Oh, you're questioning me, I'm gonna punish you for it. But then we become adults that don't know boundaries, and we don't know how to have an effective conversation to say, I feel really sad when you say this to me, because, and I'm speaking very honestly here, I can't do that shit. I can't do it with a lot of my people in my family. I can't say I feel sad when this happens, and this is why I'm not above the no contact. And sometimes you can't establish that boundary because people just don't get it. And again, safety. If you are not safe with someone to say this, and you feel worse about an interaction, then it's not a good situation. And it's not worth you trying over and over, because you're going to feel like you're doing something wrong.
So if you need to get out of that situation, MindScapes717@gmail.com.
Yep. Let us know. I think, you know, these conversations are super important for us to have. And I know it sounds really easy on this side, and I tell my clients this the same every time I see them. It's so easy for me to say these things, but I want you to start thinking about what that looks like for you. I am giving you all of this stuff because we both know, me and my client, we both talk, we know what the fuck the problem is. And if you don't want to or can't, then we have to figure out how to take care of you. What is self-care? What is boundaries? What are the things that you can do for you? Because if we can't do that, then I don't, and usually I tell them, I'm like, we're going to waste our time here in therapy. And I hate saying that, because I want to help everyone. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't want to fucking help everyone. But sometimes you just have to know your boundaries and your limits, and you have to be okay. You can't come dysregulated every week to therapy and be stabilized for 1 hour every week and then go back to we need to figure out what is happening. How do you take care of yourself? And sometimes it's work, and you can't shake it because you need money, girl, paycheck to paycheck, like the rest of us.
Tania and I talk a lot about prioritizing yourself. It's so hard to do.
It is a privilege most times.
It is so hard to do. Because again, we've been taught to do otherwise, especially as women. So
right.
Thinking that way is much harder than taking action that way. But one of the ways that you can do it is actually, like Tanya's been talking about this whole time through part 1 and this part 2, is setting boundaries and literally saying to yourself and reframing everything that's coming at you.
Yeah.
To prioritize yourself. So
and find someone to talk to.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be a therapist, but if it's someone you feel safe, we always come back to safety, because if nothing else in the world of mental health, safety is number 1. Yes. We can't tell you what to do, because that's not our job. We're here to help. But if you feel safe with someone outside of therapy, or you want someone to help you find a therapist to feel safe, these are all the things that you need to consider when you consider your mental health. If you are not safe, it is for a reason. If you feel anxious with someone, it's not butterflies because you love this person. It's because they're triggering something in you that is not safe for you. Anxiety is there for protection. It is a survival skill. It literally gives us this flight, fight, or freeze, or fawn. It makes us go through these situations and literally fight or whatever we have to do. It is a survival skill that we innately, inherently always carry. You have to listen. You have to listen to your body, to yourself, and then make the best decision according for you. That's just literally what it comes down to.
So the last thing that I kind of want to just wrap up here. Okay, so certain words that can trigger us, and just at least. Those are 3 words that can trigger us. And if we're self-aware about those words, then we can set boundaries about those words. We can prioritize ourselves and set those boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We also talked about definitions and how definitions can actually kind of harm us because people don't understand certain things, and then they'll say certain things. We talked about, de-escalating, basically talking about our feelings, talking about the boundaries, giving a solution or whatever. We talked about making sure we prioritize ourselves, and we talked about safety.
Yeah, and if we're on the other side and we're listening to people, stop, pause for count to 10. What do you need from me? Yeah, be mindful about how you're going to respond. We talk about a lot of the person going through the thing, but when we are on the other side and we're listening to these stories, can you just take a pause? Literally count to 10, take a deep breath. How can I help you? What do you need from me? What does support look like? Right. That's it. No but, Period. No just, no at least, no nothing.
Right.
What do you need from me?
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Let me get back to this thing, because I'm so bad at this. But here we go. Oh, did I stop it? I didn't stop it.
You didn't stop it, but you stopped recording.
Right. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, you gotta move it.
Now I gotta do this. Okay, we're done. We're done with the drama. We're done with the trauma of technology and.
Well, not really. We still gotta. Yeah, we gotta upload, and some fucking hells are gonna come up out of Leslie. It happens.
That's the way it is. Especially with the tequila in my system.
She's not even done with their high noon.
I'm almost done. All right. Toodaloo.
Bye.